David used to teach math in 8th grade in a public school, and one of the things I discovered coming into software was that the best teachers that I knew were using very many of the same principles as some of the best software teams I knew. So core was agility, right? Techniques and strategies that help teams shift really complex stuff in the face of a lot of uncertainty. In the same way, to be an effective teacher, you need to be able to teach kids very complex, difficult things in the situations that are just chaotic. So there's a lot of parallels between agile development and effective teaching. One of those is this move to cross-functional teams. So we're basically moving from this place where we've got these siloed units of development, sort of Gantt chart hell, people bottlenecked by each other, to integrated teams that can ship whatever they want, loosely coupled, able to move and ship real customer value. Same transitioning happening in special ed. You've got these kids that previously they're above the special ed threshold. They basically end up segregated out into a different room, taught by the special ed teacher, never really part of the class. Now we're sort of at this place of inclusion. Special ed, learning difference, intersectionality. 2 teachers, team teaching this entire class of really diverse learners with diverse needs. Specs are for suckers, right? The day of the long PRD is done. Nobody reads them. They cause bugs because nobody reads them. Lightweight working prototypes and human conversation is where software is going. In the same way, textbooks are dead. The average textbook is written 3 reading levels above the kid that's supposed to be getting the content from the textbook. Lightweight working prototypes of problems on the board, human conversations, group work, makes for much more effective instruction. So instead, we've moved to the user story. I don't really care what form it's in software, but what I care about is we know why we're building something, and we know when it's done, how we're going to measure whether it's done or not. In the same way, we've moved from sort of general stuff in teaching, like today we're going to learn about fractions, to very objective-oriented, measurable stuff, so that you can say to a kid, when you walk out of my classroom today, here's how you will be different from when you walked in. We've also seen the concept of sprints make it into Agile, this sense of a time box that lets you work with really focused intensity for a short period of time and measure yourself at the end of it so that you're shortening the amount of time to learning whether you're on the same path or not. If you like sprints, congratulations, go work at a public school. You get to do about 5 of them a day. They're 40 minutes long, and they're really fun. You can get a great sense of urgency going throughout there. At the end of a sprint, of course, you want to do a demo, right? We want to see, is this thing in prod? We want to see, are all the tests passing? Does it do what we expected? How do the stakeholders feel? Demos are a great way to keep ourselves honest, see whether we're moving towards what we want to do. Good teachers, end of every single class, you're doing a demo. The demo is not really for the students, but it's just like a 1-question quiz that you give to all your kids, hand it to them, they give it to you on the way out, and I can see instantly within that night what percentage of my kids got what I was trying to tell them. Because basically in software development as well as in education, it's all about shortening that feedback loop, right? The shorter the feedback loop, the faster we're going to figure out how wrong we are. And it's important not just for the students, but for the teachers to start internalizing this attitude of failing really fast, not being afraid to fail, because that's the only way to sustainably learn things over a long period of time and close this insane educational inequity we have in the country. And this problem is really, really bad. 30% of kids that don't graduate high school are going to end up living under the poverty line. And you get this vicious cycle of low opportunity to low educational outcomes that feeds on itself. Worse than that, compared to a college graduate, somebody that doesn't graduate high school is 63 times more likely to end up behind bars. Again, another vicious cycle. Behind bars, unable to affect their own outcome, results in these increased cycles of just terrible oppression and really bad outcomes. And then if you're sort of a heartless economist, $300K over the lifetime of any college dropout is a tax paid by society on there. So what, teachers, 150 students over a year, we're talking tens of millions of dollars in potential value being lost from poor outcomes out of education. So I'm here today because I think this community has the empathy, the systems thinking, the passion, the innovation, basically all the tools that we need in order to make a big impact on this ridiculously bad problem for the country. And I think if we take some of the passion that we have here and apply it to this, in the end, we can start to fix this.